Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. The next bull run starts in 2 weeks. You heard it here first from our Dizor here on Twitter. BTC cycles begin 170 days post-halving and hit their peak 310 days later. Check this out, guys. 2016 we had a halving, 2020 we had a halving, and 2024 we recently had a halving as well. And after the halving, what we saw was a bit of a lull in 2016 and 2020, although we did see price starting to move up during those particular points in time. For 2024, it's been a bit of a rocky ride here. We've seen some ups, some downs, trying to push back up again. I think this particular year, for this particular halving, we have seen a bit of an anomaly because of the Bitcoin ETFs. We did see a lot of that money flow into Bitcoin earlier in the year. So before the halving, this resulted in Bitcoin reaching that all-time high before the halving even occurred, which had not happened back in 2020, nor did it happen in 2016. But guys, at this point here, 170 days after, this is when we really started to see the euphoria set in. So 170 days post-halving, and then it's going to reach its peak 310 days later. So here, guys, I have the Bitcoin chart on the daily for you, and I just wanted to plot this out for you to show you guys what that would mean in terms of the halving and comparing it to the last halving in 2020. So this line here represents the halving date back in 2020. And I'm just going to throw the halving. Let me just bring this Bitcoin chart over here. I'm just going to throw the halving on in 2024 as well, just to give you guys a bit of a comparison here. So 2 halving dates. If I were to zoom in there, you guys can see that, center that in the screen. So right in here, guys, we saw bulls really kind of explode in and around, well, somewhere in and around here. So 150 days. He's saying 170 days. So somewhere in and around here was when we really started to see that excitement, really kind of FOMO here. I'm just gonna bring it down so you guys can see a little better there. 160, 170, somewhere in and around there. So we're starting to see that uptick here. Again, this was 2020. And so guys, what are we seeing today? Let's just bring it over here. And if I were to bring this time tool here from the halving date, roughly in and around here, and we were to bring it 150, 160 days, guys, you know where that brings us? The end of September 28th, 29th, 30th, early October, okay? So we are in and around that same time frame there. So 150, 160, 170 days. Our Dizor is saying 170 days. Regardless of the exact date, guys, we are getting very, very close. You can see sentiment is also creeping up now. We're smack dab in the middle, neutral sentiment. Market cap has taken a bit of a cool down 0.3%. 24-hour volume, that's down a bit too. Bitcoin dominance is also going down a little bit. So altcoins are slowly catching up. I thought that was interesting because I also happen to see this from Ali charts. Things are getting interesting. Bitcoin dominance is showing signs of a potential breakdown from the rising wedge, while the altcoin market cap is breaking out from a falling wedge. So as we're seeing, the dominance for Bitcoin, as I mentioned, dominance for Bitcoin slowly moving down. Ali charts is noticing this. So Bitcoin dominance looking like we are getting to that top of that wedge. So could it break down and could we start to see an altcoin rally? Similarly, we're looking at the altcoin chart here on the right-hand side, and it is already starting to break out. So that is usually a denotation of Bitcoin price vis-a-vis the altcoin market moving down. Even if Bitcoin continues to move up in real terms against fiat currency, against the US dollar, we could still see Bitcoin dominance going down against altcoins for when the altcoin market really does kick it up into high gear. For more information on what I'm trading this bull run, guys, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. My entire trading journey, my plans, the cryptocurrencies that I hold, the quantities, when I'm going to sell, all that can be found at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for only $5 a month. I've kept the price affordable on purpose so that you guys can follow me throughout this bull run. We still do have some time to go, of course, and we're going to be looking at all kinds of different metrics here, guys. I've been doing the research. I've been looking at this tirelessly, and this is why, partially why I bring you guys some of this technical analysis stuff in the morning. Ali charts here also bringing this to our attention, okay? The MVRV momentum is a useful tool for gauging Bitcoin's trend direction. In late April, it signaled a shift of negative momentum. So, guys, this is what we saw in late April. Let me just remove some of that. And what it was suggesting was late April, which was in and around here, it was suggesting that momentum was not really going to continue, that we were going to see more moves to the downside, and sure enough, we did. But now, guys, the indicator suggests a potential return to bullish territory if the MVRV can close above its 90-day moving average. So here's the chart, just showing you guys the ratio, the Bitcoin MVRV ratio. compared to the Bitcoin price. So we're looking at that metric as well in order to kind of gauge where Bitcoin could go next. Even just looking at a basic principle here on the chart, I mean, it's looking as though Bitcoin's getting very, very close to that former high up here that we did see back, the former lower high that we did see back at the end of August. We are getting very, very close to that. Hopefully, we don't see another lower low. That would not be good. Hopefully, what we do see is Bitcoin piercing this. This is ultimately where we need to go for this bull run to continue. So I wanted to thank Ali Charts there and Artizor just for posting those. Guys, Moon Lambo here also posting this. I think it's cute that most speculators and traders and chart guys have no idea that XRP has been outperforming almost all the top 100 coins for over 3 months now, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. So just remember, guys, despite XRP price performance over the last year or so, XRP does move last and fast. And so over the last 3 months here, so since June, right, since late June, early July, when XRP did move down significantly, we have actually seen quite an increase here from that price point right down in here. It is up 45, 44, 45% within the last 3 months. So we can't say that for all altcoins, but it is great to see that XRP is still kind of doing what it has been doing. I've been in this market for 2.5, I want to call it 2.5 bull runs. By the time we get to the peak of this bull run, it'll be 3 full bull runs. And what I've noticed, throughout the years being in the XRP community, trading XRP, I've noticed this is pretty much par for the course. I know a new crop of people comes in every now and then. And so people get disappointed with XRP performance, and then they get excited when it really pumps for that short period of time. But what I've realized is the trends are always the same. We always see XRP pumping last and fast. This is why, when you have the veterans in the space and they're not worried at all, pay attention, especially if you're new to this space, because again, this is not our first rodeo. We've been through this. We have seen this time and time again. And, the last time I did not cash out any XRP. This time around, it's going to be different. Again, patreon.com/workingmoney channel for my plan, what I decide to do in the end, how much I decide to cash out, and at what price. Let's keep moving along, though, because we've got some more interesting news that could, in fact, shape the crypto market moving forward. Marty Party here bringing this to our attention. This is breaking news. BNY Mellon, America's biggest custodian bank, has received SEC approval to custody Bitcoin. Yes, this is a big deal, guys. And it's a big deal because of that SAB 121 bill. BNY Mellon, America's largest custody bank, appears to have received SEC approval to offer institutional crypto custody services, according to testimony. Testimony from Chris Land, general counsel for U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis, indicated that BNY Mellon had received a variance from complying with the SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin SAB 121. So they are allowed to veer off from that specific regulation there, from those guidelines. These guidelines were previously seen as a major hurdle for banks looking to enter the crypto custody business. This variance could clear the way for BNY Mellon and other banks to start offering crypto custody services to institutional clients. And I think BNY Mellon, although they are the first, likely won't be the last. So SAB 121 requires entities that custody crypto assets to list the assets on their balance sheet and create a corresponding liability equal to the value of the assets held. So, of course, this is very heavily regulated. The government wants this to be very heavily regulated moving forward. Michael Saylor, just down here, Michael Saylor did endorse this news, sharing his thoughts on the X platform. Saylor mentioned that credible rumors are circulating that one of the major U.S. banks will soon be able to custody Bitcoin. BNY Mellon's involvement in crypto custody raises concerns with the Bitcoin community, though, as Bitcoin was originally designed as a decentralized currency to bypass traditional financial systems. Well, you can't have it all, right? This is big, though. It is the first institution in the U.S. to get an exemption from the Biden-vetoed SAB 121, according to Marty Party. And guys, this is going to open the way for more crypto adoption moving forward. Again, these government officials, the legislators, everybody at the top, they want this to be, they want to make money, of course, but they don't want us to make money in an unregulated system where there are loopholes, where there are leaks. So they are really trying to, tamp this down as quickly as possible before this bull run does begin. So that's interesting news. Wanted to thank Marty Party for posting that. Guys, I also happen to see this. Brad Garlinghouse came out. Unfortunately, this feels like my annual PSA. And yes, I sound like a broken record, but Ripple and executives will never ask you to send us XRP. If you guys were fooled by this, apparently the Indian, what is it? The Indian Supreme Court was hacked to promote XRP. India's YouTube page, their Supreme Court YouTube page was hacked, apparently. So the YouTube channel of India's Supreme Court was compromised on Friday in a first such incident for the judicial body. The channel, which otherwise streams court cases for viewers and the press, showed videos promoting XRP tokens, and the name was changed to Ripple.live24. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. A blank video titled Brad Garlinghouse Ripple Response to the SEC's $2 billion fine XRP price prediction went live on the channel in the European morning hours. The video and the channel were taken down shortly thereafter. Somebody over there at the Supreme Court in India is like, that's not real. Take that down. I guess now they have to get their channel back. Unfortunate, but you know what? These hackers, they're going to come after you. They're going to try to take your XRP. They're going to try tooth and nail. And I know for my Patreon subscribers, you guys, by the way, I guess I don't mention this enough. When you are subscribed to the Patreon, you do have direct access to me. So I answer all my direct messages if you guys do have questions. And this is why I bring this up, is because somebody was asking me the other day how to get their XRP off their cold wallet storage solution. They wanted to do some tests, so I helped them through it. And, this is a good opportunity to tell you guys to keep your XRP safe from hackers potentially. And, don't send anybody anything if they're telling you, do this, do that. Don't do it, guys. Just don't do it. I do have an affiliate link for the Ledger Nano in every description of every video that I do. You can use it if you want. You don't have to use it. I'm not trying to push that particular product, but what I do suggest is that you guys do find something, keep your crypto safe. The way I look at it, if you've invested $10,000 in cryptocurrency and there's the potential for it to go to $100,000, let's just say for sake of argument, well, you wouldn't just keep $100,000 in loose bills just laying around the backyard, right? Anyway, just another PSA there, guys. XRP liquidity also noticing this. So we have indications that Chris Larson's 50 million XRP will be heading to Binance. I did report on this earlier this week. The account is showing a small amount was sent out. Preliminary checks lead to a Binance wallet and further linking possibly to ODL. So it sounds as though we are now finding out. Here's another tweet here from XRP Liquidity. We're finding out where this XRP is going, that mysterious 50 million that Chris Larson did custody at some point. So we're looking at 4 times 5 million XRP transfers. You guys can see them here. This is on a ledger tracker. Okay, so from September 20th, 2024, you can see 4 times 5 million XRP on the move. It's been sent to another wallet. Activity in those wallets appear to lead to Binance. So it looks as though it is for some particular, probably some kind of institutional purpose, since such a large quantity is being sent to Binance. We know Binance is actually not an ODL exchange, so maybe for another purpose, maybe Binance is running out of XRP. Maybe they're realizing that the demand is going to go up once the price does start to rally. So maybe Ripple is getting them ready for this. Anyway, I wanted to thank XRP Liquidity for posting those. XRP Wins also bringing this up, guys. Another interesting connection here. DLocal, which is a confirmed Ripple partner, and MoneyGram, which used to be a Ripple partner, have now partnered up. DLocal, the leading cross-border payment platform specializing in emerging markets, today announced a strategic partnership with MoneyGram, a leading global financial technology company that connects the world's communities. The partnership will help MoneyGram continue to expand its high-demand services into new markets across the APAC and EMA region, with future expansion plans for the Latin American corridors, further enhancing the company's digital receive capabilities. According to the World Bank, the global average cost to consumers for cross-border payments transactions was 6.35%. That is huge. If you're sending a $10,000 transaction, you're paying over $600, $635 for that transaction. That's terrible. And that was in the first quarter of 2024. While bank services have remained the most expensive type of cross-border payment with an average cost of 12.66%. The interesting part of this is that, MoneyGram was partnered up with Ripple. Since the lawsuit, though, they did part ways, and we thought it was because of the lawsuit. We thought because XRP would be questioned for the next few years. Of course, we've been now waiting for 4 years. 3 years since XRP did get clarity. But we thought that they parted ways for that. Then somebody came up with a different theory. Now, guys, though, DLocal and MoneyGram partnering up again. So is MoneyGram going to be using XRPL technology through DLocal, at least in these particular corridors? Well, we know for a long time these particular corridors have been open to XRP utility. So I don't know if it'd be a question of using XRP or not so much as an interesting An interesting observation here. I mean, considering MoneyGram did also decide to partner with, I believe they partnered with Stellar fairly recently, within the last few months or so, definitely within the year. Maybe it's actually been 2 years now. Anyway, an interesting connection here. Wanted to thank XRP Wins for bringing that to our attention. As XRP holders, we know the value proposition of XRP is very, very dear to our hearts, very important to us, right? And this diagram just emphasizes how Ripple and the Interledger protocol's central position in the evolving financial landscape as they together bridge multiple actor coalitions. So this is an older diagram here, but I wanted to bring this up because it does show you guys how important, how crucial Ripple is. It's the crux. It's going to be the crux of this new financial system. Now, this is a bit outdated. It does have Libra in here, which is the coin that Facebook tried to launch back in 2018 or 19. They were, discussing the prospect of Libra, but they were way too early on. But Ripple, Interledger, Tether in here in the middle. You can see it is the nexus between grassroots groups, state actors, and private actors, obviously finding that happy balance in there. So public actors and regulators, governments are exploring CBDCs and financial infrastructures that align with Ripple's technology, making Ripple crucial to state-led blockchain initiatives. And we've seen this time and time again with many different countries around the world. Private actors, okay, guys, Ripple's ability to interact with major financial institutions like SWIFT. At first, they were at odds, but now, guys, they're collaborating. They're working together. This demonstrates its relevance within traditional banking networks. And then we have number 3, crypto and alternative currencies. And this is where we get the ooh la la, okay? Ripple's technology, including ILP, facilitates links between crypto projects and the broader financial system. Ripple's central position reflects its adaptability and broad-reaching impact across both private and public financial sectors. And again, we see it here. Okay, we see that connection. We know there are going to be more use cases too. I happen to see this from Axelar Network. Martin Etheridge, SVP of Blockchain and Digital Assets at MasterCard. Okay, we know Axelar did recently partner with MasterCard, and we know Ripple is partnered with Axelar and MasterCard, so 2 Ripple partners here. He's talking about the need for blockchain interoperability to unlock global financial use cases.
Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about the work we did on the institutional interoperability report that was, produced by Axelar and Metrica, who is here with us as well today. And MasterCard presented an expert opinion, right, a piece as part of that paper. So I'm curious from your perspective, how important is interoperability to just make enterprise blockchain happen and make it usable?
I mean, it's vital, right? I mean, we are going to live in a multi-chain world, right? We are going to live in a world where different chains are optimized for different business models and use cases, and potentially even, to be frank, different jurisdictions, but maybe that's not so relevant. And so I guess I see, firstly, the technological interoperability, so understanding how information on one chain can be exchanged with information on another chain to ensure that there is either synchronicity where that synchronicity is necessary, or information can be transmitted. But there is also a requirement for liquidity to be available in different locations. I think we want to avoid a circumstance where there is a requirement for individuals or institutions to have to place liquidity in a huge variety of different locations. That I think would be a suboptimal arrangement. And then lastly, I just want to also make a point about things that are not specifically to do with either technology or liquidity, but are equally important around setting standards, setting rules that ultimately could be implemented via a smart contract, but start from a perspective of a common understanding of the business opportunity, a common understanding of the expectations that we place on each other. And MasterCard has a huge role to play there, I see, right? It's an experience that we have to build networks of participants who have often competing objectives, but to bring together people who actually understand that everybody will be better off if there is a common mechanism through which we engage with each other. And that will require tech components to support that interoperability, but it also requires effective standards and rules of the road that a network like MasterCard can bring.
So a lot of great information here. Like Axel are pointing out, we're going live in a multi-chain world. That is big because the interoperability component that the XRPL does provide, that has been an ongoing goal for Ripple, and they've been very successful at it. Developers on the XRPL really moving towards different use cases, making other applications that they're building on the network, so that interoperability will be able to reign supreme, so that XRP utility will continue to grow and grow and grow. So great news there from the Axelar network. Now, guys, I mentioned this because David Schwartz did come out on Twitter yesterday to revisit this idea that XRP has to be a high price in order for it to be facilitated in a grand setting, okay, at scale. This is why reusing one XRP to make a large payment becomes more expensive. This is coming from the Wrath of Kahneman here. Consequently, sometimes people jump on the claim that XRP has to have large values, but it doesn't. It works fine at about 50 cents. So this is a bit of a controversial statement. Basically what he's saying here, XRP does not have to command a high enough price for it to work. Technically, that's true, but here's what David Schwartz says about this. Okay, so he's retweeting this David Schwartz thread here. Even Vet commented on this. That's why people fail to understand that what he is saying is completely logical, but just because it is logical doesn't mean it has to happen. In that case, price to go up or even guaranteed to go up. So exactly, says Wrath of Kahneman here, price is a function of demand. And I want you guys to think about that for a second. Price is a function of demand. I sympathize, though, as these dynamics are unintuitive and a really specified field. Most folks are left to piece together an understanding from X soundbites. Constructing knowledge always requires revision. So this to say, and I have a few tweets here, kind of jumbled up, some people in the XRP community commenting on this in a fragmented manner. So Anders here posting this, the higher the price of XRP, the larger payments ODL can target. That has never changed. Price and liquidity is almost always correlated, as he has also stated in the past. People also say price of XRP doesn't matter for ODL. Don't know what they're talking about there. And I did confirm this is a David Schwartz tweet thread, which you can find here in the Wrath of Kahneman tweet, which I'll link the Wrath of Kahneman tweet in the description of the video. But basically going back to what Anders is saying here, in fact, a lower price of XRP makes payments more expensive. So David Schwartz did just say this yesterday, guys, okay? This is September the 20th, 2024, and he said this yesterday. This is why it was impractical to use Bitcoin to buy a house when Bitcoin was at $100, but practical to use Bitcoin to buy a house now that Bitcoin is a much higher price. Lower prices for XRP make XRP payments more expensive. And do you really think companies want to make these services more expensive for their customers or less expensive? They want to be able to compete, right? So they're all in the same boat. They all have the incentive to make XRP a high enough price. And how's that going to happen? Well, with more demand for XRP. Even Ashley Prosper here bringing this up. Regulations, it's the one thing holding crypto back. The one thing that would stop the SEC in its tracks and usher in a new wave of institutional adoption, the likes of which we have never seen. So she's commenting on this, as David Schwartz did comment today on September the 21st, if you guys are watching this on the day that I'm recording it. He's basically saying virtually no crypto is being used for payments right now. And guys, again, this goes back to the regulation. It's because the regulation is not clear yet. XRP has wide availability. It's top five in market cap and has low fees and fast confirmations. I don't think it's used more for payments for the same reasons that no cryptos are really being used for payments much today. And that is because we still don't have that clarity. Now, let's also remember XRP cannot be dirt cheap. That doesn't make any sense. If XRP costs $1, they need 1 million XRP, which would cost $1 million. If XRP cost $1 million, they would only need 1 XRP to make that same transaction. This was that famous tweet from back in 2017. But recently, guys, Marcelo Wolfarth did post this. Can you all stop suppressing the price already? And David Schwartz did right. I hold XRP. If there was some way I could get the price of XRP to go up, I assure you that I would do that. Boom goes the dynamite here, guys. Patience, 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 patience. It will eventually happen. Let's just go back to this Wrath of Kahneman tweet thread here, because I did also want to bring this up. XRPL Explosion here posting this. It's only worked this whole time at 50 cents because XRPL isn't being used to transact large dollar amounts consecutively. Once this occurs, cheap XRP will be impossible. And Wrath of Kahneman does agree here, yes. But even then, it seems likely that it would only drive the price up to a level that matches whatever the added expenses of of breaking big transactions into lots of smaller transactions in the order book. The transaction size matters, but the total demand matters much more for XRP price to rise. So when we hear companies like Axelar saying, you know, we could, in fact, transfer $50 trillion over the Axelar network, over the XRP ledger, it's going to be the size of the market, not necessarily the transactions, guys. This is why all these use cases combined is what is really going to boost XRP price. This is why when we see more partnerships, we should be getting excited. And this is why I'm holding some XRP for the long term. For more information on what I'm doing, a more detailed perspective on what I'm deciding to do. Working Money Channel, guys, this is my portfolio. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month. I want you guys to be on the same side of the trade as me. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.